Ndikuonetseni mlendo wathu amene tili nayo mu program yathu ya lero. Mlendo wathu ndi Romulus Chikafutwa, the Apple Guy. Ndakulandirani Mr. Apple Guy. Very famous young man. The Apple Guy, the Apple Guy. Mwina anthu samadziwa zina limene la Romulus Chikafutwa. Chifukwa limene likutrenda kwambiri ndi the Apple Guy. Tisanapite kwambiri mkati titakudziwani. Romulus Chikafutwa ndi ndani?
So I'm Romulus Chikafutwa. I'm a 27-year-old man.
27 years.
Yes. Okwatira. We have one son. So basically, I have a family. Yeah. Just a month ago.
Oh.
So
And
band of joy.
Is it? Band of joy.
Band of joy.
Usiku zumateka kugona.
Usiku nde mukuzwagala. Kusita na shift bus. Komano, it's a very good experience, you know. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I can't lie. Yeah, it keeps positive somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Apple Guy.
Yes,
anthu kungonena Mr. Apple Guy ndikuti anthu akudziwa kuti munthu amene ndi yali ndi shop ya ma Apple pa ujina pa Mall of Africa. Komanso kulilongwe ku Gateway Mall. Timati mutati pasano ulendo umenewu. Zidamba bwanji zoti inuyo muyambe kukhala Mr. Apple Guy, mfuna muzingogulisa katundu wa Apple. I want the story. Zidamba bwanji zimenezi.
Well, it started quite small. I remember at Tulu College.
Good man.
I was learning at NASIT. Computer programming.
Okay.
So school kuja matabe wona mafana eno kuti noko kuchita kwa mbili. Chinamagwisa nalijiti. iPhone. That time iPhone 6. Yeah, so
Nalijiti when I'm
2019. Around there. We were to school kuja and they do my CD. So you'd always wonder what's so special about Jimmy. So I had discovered kuti chimokanga dino ndaruka magura Benz. When I someone got I didn't Benz. So to me I was like I feel like this has a prestige value in the society, yeah? So now I'm nazigulira kanga
unagula kanga iPhone yako.
Yes, so
that was Jama 2019.
Yeah, that was 2019. So I was able to kuja kafoni kaje wina kupewa bwana. So mimi nakagula I think that time 50,000. Mafundi magulisa 50,000.
Ya second hand.
Ya second hand.
Right.
Udabwa mawo muntu akupepa ndio ngomuye sa muntu iro mina 90 or 8 udabwa muntu cash zukhala bwanji. So bezo wina akugulisa so umupepa ya bro intawasani ndamo magutu kudabwa no anthu ajano ukagula wina kugula. So with time I sat down. So I was like chabuno ndumaka ndakhala ndi yanga ndagulisa siulina nazayeso kana wawiri ndagulisa ndeno chabuno nganduva nga 10,000 ndezo ntuzendakhala nazo 10 or 20 ningavangenda mazingati. You know, so I told myself to say, let me try to discipline myself, you know. So even for me, at my volunteer manager, I'm at the cool it was a fees. So I was like, I'm gonna fees at any person. This is what I'm sure. So what if I can just take this man? But I know that for sure. So I remember that time, ukaposta pa Facebook mpaka for the first time bwana na ga good music ananiambia phone ndifuna phone na Facebook mtu jakubela ku school pa jipezi even yesterday. So with time I think I started learning to say I feel like the more I discipline myself and focus more on this I believe that it will benefit me. So I did that and it was quite an experience, because I remember even one of my kusaina ndakhaona akumwe nthawi makhauri ndikuchedwa for entire break or lunch then makhanda tuluka ndio mandika stomba Shoprite ndiyabwera kuje ndikuja I'm late, I'm always the late comer mwaona olo pa break budget makhandika I think 30 minutes break. Then I took a shop right. It was an ongoing experience, but you know, I really enjoyed it because I'm gonna pass a wisdom, right? To say, good, you know, my son, I think you can go through this path, you know. So that was just part of it.
So mwapita kunasit kuti mukapanga computer programming.
Yes.
Imaenda computer programming kapena zitangoyamba za mafonizi inazaoneka kuti zitichedwesa mwina za programming izi za mafonizi zimezi kugwira.
Actually, you know, when I started in school, in my SS, I was really, all of my grades in the anali you know, because you know I had that hard way. I saw during my time, I saw people go to time and you know, you'd see that they were doing really well, but I told myself that okay, fine, it's not quite usual for us to at a young age, but I had believed to say, you know, sometimes no matter what, but school imaenda bwino kwa basi
mokuti munamaliza school kuna city. You graduated in dichani
computer programming.
Yeah. As a degree. Oh, munabandi degree ya mcheni ya computer. You're a programmer.
Yeah, I'm a programmer by profession.
Have you even tried after that kupanga any type of programming work kapena because of this business now ya mafoni ya programming jenango pachika basi a degree kungomera fumbi?
A degree, to be honest, I've never really used it anyway. Because after college it was straight. I was like, I had enough time now, but my lectures and my so I think I had sat down to see, you know, okay, where is it that I can improve, you know, because when it comes to that the Apple ecosystem, it's quite broad. Because every year but that time my capital in business ya.
Okay, now I think it
it
means like mukakhala panopa mumaganiza kuti business imene munayamba ndalama zingati?
During that time I would say 100,000 to be honest. Yeah.
Yomati 200 you buy a phone,
of course,
kugulisa.
Yes.
Kena kamina ukhanda awiri kugulisa. Nkumagula.
Then it grows. Yeah. So
to maybe how much before you left school?
I can't really remember during that time, but maybe the capital was maybe 2 to 3 million. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So magula kuti mafundi.
Okay, so at first it was just wapi. When we said it was right? So you can't just become the master in it. So makabe would, you know, muna pa Facebook. So umpanga po how can I get this, get that? So that's how it started. But with time, you had seen that the demand maybe for new phones was there, so you wouldn't really source that out here, you know. So I was forced to get out of my comfort zone and find other ways to go about it. So that's how it's in 2009 there. Okay,
so from that humble beginning, mina the 50,000 kwaja 100,000 mamba kugula mafoni, kugula ukuskuli kuenda, you've graduated with your degree in computer programming which you haven't used up to now. You have developed now full interest in the Apple products.
Yes.
How did you then move mwamaliza school age? Munayamba pati? Munapeza shop? Munatani? How were you selling this now?
So what happened was andala makata kula pamono. Napeza galimoto kina kai. I think kina Atamukhaulisa ulio.
Atamukhaulisa wana galimoto.
So nata ababa ndufunike jani? Ndufunike galimoto. So I think I'm not sure if I can afford it. Bas. It was some guy working at Standard Bank, and I did turn this. It was a track twin screen journey. I went home. We were on Zabuno. So you know, I think I had started a good business. You know, so I had Kajwama and Mapolo phone. So I had like maybe all my phone at 10 and then I just put them in plastics and put rubber bands. But after whenever I just saw zombies gonna go, you know, makanchi so my customer did the master. So my business customer na kabulimbi, all customer matukala kuvoma. Whenever if I have to come to Zomba, some kind of fuel. So maybe that time to fuel 20,000. So
some kind of meaning what? Ku cost ya phone.
Yes. So I'm just so happy that a lot of people in this country learn from this, because they compromise it. They put themselves in the other person's shoes to say, I think Muntida did the point. So my business do more so I'm gonna 10 so can so 20 if it's 20,000 I'm gonna 10 bunch. So people were very understanding, and the fact that Muntida won't pick seated, suddenly beat it up front for Agajuni guy, at least it was so usually it would work out, but sometimes you know business is business. And I'm and it's part of it, and you move forward.
So you bought a car.
Yes. Yes, I had to. Yes. Yes.
Now you've moved from 1 phone, 2 phones to 10 phones.
Yes.
Matenga kuti mafuna amene wakuti azikhala enieni chifukwa kuliso tu ma products ena apo amene ali abodza, genuine and fake products. Anu amapeza kuti azikhala kuti anthu akagula azikhutisibwa kuti ndagula di product yenieni yolondola a genuine product from Apple.
You know, authenticity, when we talk about Apple products, you know, it's my kind of serial number. Panopa of course my channel you know, time ndimo basically you know inayonika ngati ina yeni. But you know with the authenticity my serial number aja is makaliza to authenticate or umuntu asana gule amabanga panchini time ndenda achika kuti but the health njotani or if not makamera makamaka phone ndela mazira camera. So and on top of
camera imatani kwa amene ena facility magwisa ntchito Apple, so pardon our ignorance, but imatani.
Okay, so my battery health, my phone I don't my battery health where it's the maximum capacity of the battery yet. Like you know yourself kugula gari moto is an example. Push start pompo imalina likakati lugamba uvaya limaonesa soma science na limayamba you understand. So it's the same psychology that goes to the phones where you choose the maximum capacity and likakati ambanga lamba kuta limaonesa so zimalimba message mafoni moja. So I think they are very educated now, and even then they've been educated. So and hajado is also I'm a check as another national so for me also you might say quality also don't compromise, you know, because at the end of the day what was growing the business fast was ukurubidika kwantu ukhala mabanga chikungamo chifukwa ndikakupeza nino ndakusa nchinjabwino mukamuza sunzana zanuja sikulina azabizole olumbaloga wa ngara paparuka mayeso akujani ma university ana kuda tini kwapo guy amakhani zinto zabwino. So it's always very important when you're doing business kuti no quality don't compromise, because and ukabizole nokukhumulisa amauzana. Of course, sometimes into small penalties to work with it, but you always have to ensure that you know ukonze badibo, ukonze bamene.
So here is a guy who graduate from UNASIT with his degree, computer programming. Just did you do it? Ukifanya makola mati mukapange kapena it was something that you really wanted to do? Komano ina zasokoneza on this idea yokugulisa mafoni. Was it something that you had picked? You know, it was a family discussion.
Actually, you know, when I was young, when I was in primary school,
yes.
Magolo mabesori phone ina ikaona kukira. I remember phone yawe naza onongeka. Ndana ngundi anakula ina kumodiwasa phone. So I used to stay in Chileka, and in Luzu there was a certain guy who, you know, his name was Same. So you know, I go to school sometimes, then I can't phone it. So I would go to Lunzu. So I'll just sit there and watch, you know, because that's
we're watching this Same guy akapanga fixing.
Mabanga watch. So with time, with maybe God's timing on Mauna so society muni makarira, it was just like maybe the right timing, I should say. Could owners into communism and data. Then that was it.
So you also learned how to fix Mafunso.
Of course. So
by watching Mr. Same fixing some
and I used to do that.
Phones.
Yes, and I used to do that because olokhushipinda kwanga mabolo of course amaziwa. So or even my dad before he would go to work amathandibeza muna palika phone ngena gage because my customers number that I'll just be fixing it olokhushipinda.
Okay, so I want to understand.
Okay.
Secondary, primary, you were a phone repair.
I wouldn't really say, but when I recall, I would relate to say, started there because school in capital in Banginan.
Programming. Koma kaka ujeni be knowledge ko konza ti mafoni tikapoirabe. You had it.
Yes, of course I had it.
Kena gano moved to selling Apple.
Of course.
Because the Apple was the high-end product. People were so much interested in buying these products. Okay, now let's move to now. How did you then move from Gulisa Ndichiwama from Galimoto to thinking, good, you know what? Nditawutsegula shop. Chifando kumbukira mwambo segula shop udali wopasa chidwi. Nali Galimoto jani and I think I wish I had that video to play it. Maybe I can find it. But you have Masekelela pipi Apple guy and people were talking, hey, there's this boy, he's called Apple guy. He said
I want to know which you got.
Oh yes.
So for that, I just did it for branding to say, I did it for personal branding because I didn't want my personal name out there. But I was like, okay, if I have a business, but what if I can also try to sell my brand, business, right? So I will print out my number plate.
Apart from just getting married, he decided also to sell the brand of Apple Guy. Yeah. Now. When did you choose to say, I'm going to be called the Apple Guy? Apple Guy. Is it something that you...
At first people, okay, so my business, first of all, if I talk about now, it's people are a bit more exposed. On TikTok, and I've seen that a lot of young people in Malawi, even what do we call this? Social medias. I'm a influencer, which also carries weight, because you can also choose to use those people. It's like you're supporting one another, local industries.
Yes.
But during, if you talk about 6 years ago, it was quite different. I didn't because yes, we were there. But if I'm to be honest with you, that time business was based on, like referrals. You understand? Good, so no basically I remember ndimugulisa with phone. So ndikagulisa muntu nake uri amakonda pa. Mina bila ku blue switch. So maybe tomorrow, the next day you get a phone. No, I was with Oguri. Ronald ndawanda. I'm now on phone yawe yasida. Would you have a phone? So that's how it grew from like people getting to know us. Then I was like, let me create a brand name where people can they don't have to know me through. I wanted to differentiate myself from my personal life and business, So that's how it started growing. Could company channel. Nice what would be the best name? I don't know if it was a good name or not, but here we are.
Yeah.
Being called the Apple Guy. So because I wanted to be very specific to say I didn't want to go broad to say I want to do everything. I just wanted to be a master in one art. You understand?
And how has that worked? Could you decided to pick Apple products and stayed with them? I mean, and Atamukhaulisa bena kuti zinto $1 zimafuta kupeza customer amwene kuti uzidikira kuti ugulise chinthu after a period ya itali you may not be able to pay for rentals or if you have staff members their salaries. How has it turned out for you? Kuti you picked a product, high-end product, you're moving products and you've grown now mpaka nakukhala mashop awiri.
Okay, so the beauty about I would say this brand, maybe it's broad, I would say. Kumano, as I said earlier, it's like Gulisa Mapenzi. uli kuchikwata amafuna kwera pens munaziona zimene what I'm sure munakwera pens. So when we talk about ngati community, this brand itself, it's everybody wants to have an experience with it, you know, and what it offers, you know, because when I listen about iPhone ndio dula, but mapezeka kuti anthu kuti no akapezeka ngachipa lendalama, everybody wants to have a share of it, you know, and I'm happy now that the ecosystem has grown it, kuti no panopa when aliyese akutani amazifuna zinthu zija, because at first people they used to say kuti no the interface is quite complex, imavuta sungayijaile, wanonzo kuti munthu wakhala ndi phone umakhalabe kuti iPhone panopa when aliyese amakonda kukhala ndi iPhone. So it's a good thing. It's also a status symbol. That's what I've also realized, which is a good thing, good for us. So
status symbol, when you say status symbol, you mean what? You've made it in life?
Not necessarily, but I would say that's a broad question. I wouldn't want to really get into it.
I see it's a status. Ukavumbusa anthu akadusa mafoni anthu amaona kuti ndi anthu angati amene ali ndi ma app ndi mafoni nawo.
Panopa amala ambiri iPhone anayikonda tisanami. You know, when aliyesema I've seen that anthu ambiri amalimbikira, when alisakalimbikira muja amafuna kukhala nchinthu chabwino. More like mukakhala kuti mwamenya pena pake mufuna TV ya bo. So iPhone is part of it. When aliyesema mafuna kuti they should have a share of it, which is a good thing, you know. So yeah.
Pamalawi panopa nthawi zambiri munthu akapanga business chimene chimazavuta kwambiri ndi customer care. Kuti mwina akamugula uja wapeza vuto kaya kudandaula china chake kuti athandizidwe. How do you handle that iweyo ngati now the Apple guy? How do you handle customers amene akumana ndi mavuto ena ake mwina pamene akugula katundu kwa inu?
Okay, so you've heard that saying that they say the customer is king. So for me and my team, we believe to say the customer is always right. Like customer not bwira. Customer not bwira. You understand? For us, we understand kuti when I say amafuna the right experience. But for us, we focus on making that customer happy. It's not every day that you make money. You understand it? Kumano customer joka bezika to musamala. Umapezeka kuti zinthu zimatani zimaenda bwino because customer ja ukamusamala pamawa azakukumbukira kuti anthu aja china chake sichinaende bwino komana tani anandisamala. So customer care is the most essential element in every business, because if you have bad customer service, they would bad customer care kuti china chake munthu ja wapanga china chake chalakwika, they would zinthu sizimatani sizimaenda. So that's what I would say about it.
So far, have you had my instances where a customer wagula katundu wanu ubwera inupana kulephera kumuthandiza?
No, that we don't allow. Because I've learned it way back in the day. You know, kale I used to do mobile business, right? And dealing with different people, and people react to things differently. But the most important part is to always be there for your customers, because my customer so you always have to ensure that your customer, because for me I would say that customers were my biggest capital, right? Because they kept coming back. You know, Wayankhula, they come back, and looking back to see where we are today. And actually I remember before this Natsegule shop what had forced me to open the shop was organizations. One said, I'm a waiter. Can you supply this? Can you supply that? It can be even the government itself. It can be big banks. It can be NGOs, private institutions. I've had experiences even in the past before where Nalibe shop. So in Makaranga, business I wouldn't get it because it would feel like public interest. I want that I'll fund as I stuff 2 times. komano alibe shop amene ini ndani how special is khanga
ngapeze pati takha kuti zinthu zake
so makhanga maybe ukhanga ufuna umpasile na wake china chake. So with time I had learned that when you located somewhere, you present yourself, people trust you. So how you present yourself also, it brings in so much. So I had opened, that's a Gloyamba. I was scared because, you're scared of compliance. Because you have to comply. It's very, very important. So I had learned to say, I feel like zinthu zinafika point recommend nazo mkali muzimajuluka. What if one day azandipanga chipongo? So looking at all the factors, I had say, let me settle down. So I still wasn't up for it because I was scared. Shop has more expenses. You need a team. Because even the team that you're working with, you don't know right? So I had found a team. First of all, Wanga set up the area could at least so for me the presentation was, since it's an Apple product, I want to customer akabwira. I want the feeling that you get when you come inside. It should you also feel that I've seen this maybe at some airport in some country. So that's what it was for me, and nice go and set up. And then with time now, the support that we needed from the organizations that were coming at first, now at least we had the location, we had referrals, so we had a brand. So it sort of paved the way for us, that helped us to grow, Sometimes also mulungu njira minafuna kutulani.
Yomwe chikafutwa amenewa ndamene amadziwika ndi dzina lokuti the Apple Guy at 27 years old atsegula ndithu mashopu akuluakulu ndithu mdziko muno ogulisa ma products amenewa Apple. Nde takulandiraniso ni Mr. Apple Guy
bwana.
Timagamba zokuti mnali mtimantha koma pang'ono mantha aja kutha kutsegula shopu yoyamba. Panonso matsegula shopu yoyamba mdatsegula Blantyre mete manenera pa Mall of Africa yachiwiri ndithu ndi Gateway Mall mzinda wa Yomwe. Pano mumagwira anthu ogwira ntchito ku company kwanu ali kwangati?
Now we have a number.
Yes.
Maybe about 8
people
around
there. And no employer wamphafu.
I'm sure, yeah.
Business went bwanji. How would you describe the padakali bano tumamva kuti ya inflation kuvuta komanso forex kuvuta ya tikaona nkhondo zikuchitika gaso petrol akuvuta. Business niyo went bwanji pa ground?
Business is quite slow, when you talk about the inflation and everything. But I believe good is into Zikalapon. A game of patience, but during this time you still have to persevere. So many someone should come to you and say, no, John, so I believe good, even Panova business is difficult, and in condos zija, Zimakarabe good is affected, Zintu Mogwet. Komaben, at the end of the day, Zintu. So everything is okay. Yeah.
Magatenga kodi ma products are. It's a secret. It's a business secret.
Every business is a secret. So you just have to. The main goal is just to have authentic stuff. You have good suppliers from wherever they come from, and yeah. So
babe simunganene. Okay, titatimisa microphone mwina mutaulizete. Komano amalawa anakulandirani bwanji. Mwatsegula shop kuyamba mango pangano mwachibwana panopa you're doing it seriously. Ndipo anthu angapo akhala kumanena kuti who is behind Apple Guy, because people believe kuti a 27-year-old boy, if I call you a boy, a 27-year-old boy cannot own shop ngati mene Blantyre, shop ngati mene kulilongo. Kukwenda ukhawe naye kuseri kwanu. Kuli ndani kuseri kwanu ku Mr. Apple Guy?
I believe, okay, that's what anthu magamba amakhanizo kwambozo siyana. But consistency bwana basizayipekeza, to be honest with you. And although there's someone behind or kaya kulindani, sometimes I just feel like Mulungu wetu akudalisa kufika pena pake. Sometimes people are always in denial to say this is not possible. Muntu yusabone kufika up. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
But God's grace, to me, I've seen even upon my life to say that God's grace, Bwana, is something that you should, for me, I pray for it, and it's something that, something just connects you to something. You understand? So, if customers, amarikumbukira, because it's the same repeat customers. You understand? So, that has actually, I would say, help us to grow. You understand? So we are because of customers, their support, so that's it.
Muone ngati ndinu munthu okhulupirira Mulungu. Makhulupirira Mulungu?
Very much.
Ndinu obadwa somasopano?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Nzotheka mkhristu mapanga business atwena mona ngati nzosatheka. Chifukwa kuti makhanga ati business imafunika uzikhako ndi utambwali chanjani munthu mkhristu ngati mapanga business. Mesa business kuliza utambwali chonchi.
Not really bwana. Business bwana imangofunika quality. Manifestly said, being honest to people, because that's for me. I know that's my capital. Because because even if you build customer experiences, it's not magic or anything, but but it's just the feeling that you get. And I've learned this the experience, exposure, I should say, is really important. Because after some time we ended the experience you'd see and who they don't even know if you have the money or not, but the way that they welcome you actually feel to say so for us that's what.
So mira makulandira na nthu mukapita kumkoma suppliers anu. Ndimeso malandira kapena mamuyangana kaya kuti uyimene wavalira uyanga gule apo. Mbona mimi muja wavala kabudula wako ma slippers uzungoti taisa nthawi tapita ku Android ama kukusa ma Android pa musiku apo.
Abwena malayo osazapokesa munthu atakubwera olavala kabudula oboka. Atakulusira 20 million. So you don't have to look down on anyone. Because olantwena ndo safu nagonekera masichepesa. So lokubwera kumene kuja yomanika everybody is king. So it's one of those bana.
Now kumbuyo kwanu kulibe mwenye fantoenda kukhulupirira kuti a 27-year-old boy mashopo apo 2 ozaza bwino okhuthala amene wawa mmene muja muli china chilichonse. Mati ndikaona ndekuti maujeni mafoni mpaka na pano pachani ma 17 alimo memu jama aujeni ma iPad memu jamuli ma Apple Book mpaka na muli ma PlayStation PS5 kulibe wina kumbuyo amene amakutchula ni bena aje kuti amphanga iwe ngofranta poti ndiwe Malawi koma kumbuyo kulena akamene makapasa kuti enaga achinthuchi.
I'm sure sometime anakakhala very excited pena pake kunena kuti nabanga invest pena pake tona nizikuenda chonchi. So I believe kuti zinakhala choncho as much as mina ntona kamaganizika zinakhala zinakatuluka it. But you can see, so for me I just believe in even amunyani mashopa awe sometimes you can collaborate and you lose nothing. You understand? And collaboration, I don't mean it to say kuti parties and no. Sometimes they might want something, if they want something, you give them a good price and that's it. And, business goes on. So, yeah.
For a 27-year-old man like yourself, to have 2 shops and you khala kachenji kalipo eti? Ngati mukaona makaunti mukachenji kalipo. Zopheka bwanji kuti mukhalira ndi mkazi mmodzi chonchi ndika mwana sibwezi ntawuni mose muno antakuziwa apo gaya nali pano, apo gaya na umwaza apa nyanja akangutene ndekuti magreta kungopanga apo guy mkazi wake winaso. How do you keep yourself calm and disciplined when you have an opportunity to do whatever you want, probably because of the business you're doing?
But for me, with my character, I would say that I'm a bit of a reserved person, you know, so azinzanga ine wambiri ndi 40, 38, azinzanga kuti no azichimwinanga eto no ndazichimwinanga, so nanthu kuti no amakoza dafa nezizi ifeyo tazipangapo, so nzoti kuti muzipange vanova zitakufuelisani. So you know, at the end of the day anthu ngatamene achauma kunikira right, umayeneka be kuti no umayeneka kumavera, you know, and at the end of the day kuzichepesa kujet zinthu zambiri umapezeka kuti no you learn so much, maona. So for me nimaona kuti no I'm not yet there, so even with the little that I have, I don't have to be all over the place.
Koma amabwera ine zatenga phone ya ulere ndani funa ndingoli basa phone 17 ndingolele zomwe ndikufuna
balibe
sabwera
balibe
oh bisapoka pa gulu rap sama sirena ina yake
ufuna madam kuni
I mean I'm not saying kuti niyo mabanga koma kuti anthu ena ake ufuna kubwera abe kusayisera
yes
anadziwa kapena kuti mwina wake afana amene isapanga zimenezi
audience koma basi sabonibwino palibe injosi
okay na nkuteka pali wachinyamata wina kuondera program imene kumana kuti mwati Mr. Apple Gandhi zaka zingati 27 and ali ndi mashopu awiri walemba anthu almost mwina pano pa 8 9 10 akwanitsa ndithu kulipira ma bills mashopu menemo kulipira anthu masalaries mpaka nabe yeso nkumakhala life kake kabwino. Ndi mavuto anja amene munthu angazikonzekeresa akamafuna kwa business imene iyi komanso mmati niyo mukaona kuti how do you benefit from it? What is the satisfaction of doing this business despite which there might be challenges here and there?
Okay, so like I said, you know, our products are quite high end. So basically, you know, basically what kuzwana ni mabwana hakula kuwet. You know, I wouldn't want to mention them, but basically kuzwana dan to you get connected to high profile people.
Right.
You know, there are people in the society. You know, that's a plus. And when we look at the challenges are quite a lot. Because at the end of the day, in younger business is quite capital intensive. Every year we look at phone in IDOC.
Yes.
And
Ango Peter Bay.
And to Malawi.
Ama yembegezera nthawi yatukuka kwina kose kwa mafuna kuti kunosweka.
Because ananga some anthu America agwino khanda access. If so we need to, you know, if it's on the ant. We love nice things. So umaona be good, you know, every year kumakhala kukuba zinthu so you know, for you to have it each and every item, bwana, it's not easy. But bangono be umabezeka be kuti kanga chebe tina koko basi timakhandi tintumele njani tinazo. So the other challenges are you don't provide authentic stuff. It's a big problem because Antamarani, like we said, Antamausana. So I would say, you know, being authentic is a very vital role, right? Because at the end of the day, sometimes, you know, we're
not partigiza.
You know, other people will price, it doesn't really matter. You've seen the other people, they just say, I just want nice things. I really don't mind. So it's one of those things. So, and at the end of the day, also discipline. As young people, I would encourage to say, I understand that we're people, we like nice things. Come on, you know, you're building up and you discipline yourself to say, I just want to focus on this. You know, that discipline and consistency pays off. You know, because for me personally, it's like if I look back where I was and where I am right now, so if I had given up that time, I think more sooner you know. So it's something that in every business, I've seen good and you know, mainly that's where things are difficult because kumakala process it ngap So example tokandi twansi leo uwo dakarundwa 200,000 vuto limene ungakhale nalo ndi nthawi imene ungagule katundu wa tingoti 50 or 100 million sichimozimozi. So sometimes you can get frustrated to say, oh, you want to give up, but then if you give up, then what? There's no one who's going to come to say hamune nizungubasani chabwinolo 20 million pamwezi. No one can really do that in this life. So you're the only person who can actually look out for you. Because tumakali at the end of the day tukukula. So I would encourage people to say, let's keep trying. Things get difficult, zimavuta, but what's my give, you know?
So if there's anyone, amene akudionera pano kali pano ali ndi loto ngati lako la the apple guy,
okay,
you can encourage them.
Yeah,
kuti bwerani guys, malo alipo kapena iye atakwana pano pa kugulisa mapo simungabwereso.
I wouldn't really say, but you know, it's in every business. Every business, obviously, you know, there are always players. If you've noted, you know, you go to banks, you go to people selling food. There's always room enough for everybody. You know, because customer, amasanka kumina kutani, agufune it. So for you can just see how is it that you can differentiate yourself? How can you be different from the rest of the people? You know, that's how business is supposed to be. So when no, the market is saturated, and but everybody at the end of the day they'll sell. You know, God will bless everybody. So that is a problem. So yeah.
Now, mumati mukayang'ana ulendo wanu umene mwayendawo from 2019 uzafika pano, that's about 6-7 years.
Yeah, I can say 6.
Yeah. Mwafikapo? Do you see yourself with now pano Mr. Apple guy nafika guys ndikungomva odi ni money kapena you still have plans to grow? And if you have plans to grow, how big do you want to grow?
You know, okay, I've seen in life, I just feel like you want zintusinas again, you get it, sometimes it's never enough. I don't know if you know, I don't know, maybe it's just part of being a human being, but I can't only say that, but when you look at also the business needed, fine. Last year I was here, this year this is what I want to achieve. So I would say sometimes it's also important to set goals in life, to say okay fine, because now when nobody will figure out, you can't do more. So it's always about leaving a footprint to say dabanga is lero or that's a good shop, but I still want to do more, you understand? Because even where I am, I have some goals that I have.
Because you like to share, like I
would even say just even being known, let's say extend my branch, yes, but you know, I don't want to be internationally known, you know. Okay. So we want to cross borders, you know, because I've seen our own Malawian people, I've seen big companies like Spark, you know, like FDH, Friska, they've grown to crossing. Yeah. So, you know, that's black excellency. That's what I would say. To say, but you know, I've seen that, you know, if those people, they're able to, you know, also think outside the box and do such, I can also get innovative and creative in my own space, you know, with what I know, and, you know, also be able to achieve what I can be able to achieve.
Now, tell a business. I don't know about Yomwe.
Yeah.
The business financing maybe is another issue. I don't know, how do you do your business? Do you believe you need to get business financing like in forms of loan from banks, lending institution? You believe the business is a kind of.
Okay, on that question it's quite tricky, because I would say, but you know, like for me, like I said it, when we go capital finally and money resale. So the fact that you know, it's you sell, you resell, you invest the profits. It's just a chain, you know, A, B, C, D. So it was one of those things where even when you ask me about that question, maybe they would want to, of course, some alone, you know, the banks, the interests, you know. So I'm sure I can just say, you know, you understand? Because maybe what might work for me might not work for the next person. But those opportunities are there, and if people are able to use that to their full potential, I also believe that they can also benefit from that. Yeah.
Kwa anthu amene amataka mwana wachinyamata nkuona ngati it's a risk usiti ngamubwereki ngongole kampasa amene guys the risk about him kuthawisa dramazi it's high. How would you want anthu amene, how should young people be treated amene akuoneka kuti they have a vision, they really are serious about what they want to do, but they don't get the opportunity because they are being disadvantaged just because of age. Kuti a 26-year-old guy you think mungampasa drama says it's a big risk. What would you want to say?
Okay, on that, I would want to say so much, but I would look at both parties, right? Because the borrower and the muntu amene afuna kubwereka ndalama. So, muntu singobita so ku bank the idea kuti no mina ndifuna ndizigulisa Toyota Fortuner. Now the bank it also needs to be secure. So even them they're giving money, they need to be secure. So I would say and who, of course, that if they're not able to raise such, but I would just say start with the little that you have, to be honest, because you just need trust. Because so you should start with funding. I feel like it's a problem because uzibanga into maphuma, ndikabweze ndamaya auje. So I believe maybe if you're able, you start small. For me, that's what I would recommend to say. Start small, earn customers, build a brand, the rest follows, to be honest.
Chaka chinochi apo imasangalala kuti zaka 50 sopano kupanga ma products akosiyana apo Macintosh oyambiriraja mafoni wanajoina chakusanyedwa apa koma I think apo Macintosh, and probably 5 years of that journey you've been with them. How do you see the business yanu ya apo going forward in the next 2-3 years? Muona mkwafika nayo patipo muona kuti mpitiza ukhandi apo kapena you think of also diversifying?
Of course, and diversifying is very important. I've seen people have companies and then they turn it into a group of companies. That's very important because you just don't lay your eggs in one basket, right? But I would still want to be the master in my art, to be very good, because when you're good, if you don't, my government institutions, they should come support us. Whether it's banks, even they want to buy Zamabwana, in my competition, we want them to come to us to say, we would want that, even privately. So I would really love to see such, So it's something that happens, but we want more of that, you understand? Because they would, even they're uplifting their own, brands, their own Malawian brands. So, we just have to also build on another at the end of the day.
Chabwino.
Yeah.
Tawi yathu yatha.
Okay.
Anthu aziti Mr. Apoguy anabwera mu Times exclusive. Atayiwala china chilichonse chimene amvera leroli. What is the message that you want to give kwa Malawi? Ena amene ndi customers anu, ena ndi achinyamata angokusilirani, ena mafuna atazafika half of you ndekamera ndiyo ayankhuleni uthenga umene mungawapase anthu amene wakhoza kukhala makategori zosiyanasiyana ndotani Mr. Apoguy?
First of all, so we would start with our customers. We would say, they've supported us, to be honest, and we're thankful. And for me, I just pray God blesses each and every person who's played a part of being a part of our brand. Without them, I wouldn't even be sitting here. You wouldn't even invite me to be here. But they've supported us. I want God to bless them in everything that they do. When it goes to fellow young people or any age, it might be anyone in any age, I would just say, just start, in whatever that you believe you want to do. I would say just start, because it's now or never. So, kuyamba, you trust the process, and you have to earn their trust. So it's not always about, no. Just earn their trust, and who's you are, the more that they keep coming back, that's how you make your money, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, so that's what I would say. And even people, if you go to office, we do our best to offer very customer service. It's very important. So they think that I customer, the many what so that's what I would say.
Ndatokoza kwambiri Mr. Apple Guy.
Thank you, bana.
Mr. Romulus Chikafutwa, the Apple Guy, at 27 years amenewa akwanitsa ndithu kukhala ndi mashopu ogulisa ndithu katundu wa Apple ku Blantyre komanso Lilongwe, kulemba ndithu pafupifupi anthu 9 kuti azigwira ntchito kumene koko, komanso nkhani yawo ndiyopasa chidwi kuti mmene adayambira kugulisa ali ku school ku college ya City, mmene amapanga degree yawo ya computer programming, koma sadayigwirise ntchito adaganiza kuti yaya apange business imene nthawi zambiri amapanga ndi anthu amene si Amalawi yayi, koma yeyo wachinyamata 27 years kuboleza kumene kuti maona ngati nkhani imeneyi ndiyopasa chidwi kuti Amalawi ena tizitha kupanga celebrate ndithu ma success a fellow Malawians amene akuchita bwino ndi kuapanga celebrate. Ndathokoza kachikena Mr. Chikafutwa kuti mnabwera. And congratulations on you being a father to this boy. What's his name?
Rimas.
Nani?
Rimas. So my dad gave me a name Romulus because I'm Romulus. So for those people who know Matenga history, yes. So it was about my twin brothers. I never had a brother. So it was about brothers where they were raised by wolves, you know. So big money, Rimas, and somebody Rimas. So
the twins are January final.
Yes.
Oceana Zaga to the
second. Mulungu si James.
Amen. No, ndatokoza pamene so ndikamsiziro pa program yathu ya Times exclusive timajeza ni Mr. Romulus Chikafutwa, the Apple Guy. Program we amajambula ndi Obet Mkangama koma amene amathandiza kukonza zina